Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to look at the chart of Corea. He's a legendary jazz fusion pianist. If you look to the eastern horizon using Vedic sidereal astrology, you would see the constellation associated with Leo rising at 28 degrees. 28 degrees becomes the most effective point of every house. And any planet like Mars, like Sun, or Saturn within 5 degrees, within a 5-degree orbit of that rising sign degree of 28, has a lot of impact in the chart. So first we're going to look and see how the planets are operating, then we'll see the timing of events when the planets are operating, and then we'll see what we could do to improve or rectify the chart. So first we want to see which are the challenging and or benefic or malefic planets in the chart. Any Multicona sign, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11, that falls in the 6th, the 8th, or the 12th becomes possibly challenging from time to time. And here we have Cancer, the 4th sign, ruled by Moon, in the 12th house. So Moon, and then Ketu and Rahu, which are malefic in every chart, can cause harm at some time through conjunction or aspects in the transit chart. So next we want to look at and see where the Multicona signs fall, which houses they fall in, because they indicate what he came to learn about in this lifetime. So first we have the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, in the 9th house. This has to do with good fortune and religion, so very involved in Scientology. Then we have the 4th sign of Cancer, ruled by Moon, in the 12th house. Again, spiritual growth through Scientology. Then we have the 5th sign of Leo in the 1st house. This house has to do with life purpose, longevity, health, name, and fame, and it's placed in the career house. So he's learning about all those things. And then we have the 6th sign of Virgo, ruled by Mercury, in the 2nd house of wealth and reputation and continuation of the family. We have the 7th sign of Libra, ruled by Venus, in the 3rd house of performing arts. Then we have the 9th sign of Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, in the 5th house of entertainment. And then we have the 11th sign of Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, in the house of partnerships. So Sun, let's look at each of the planets individually. Sun is at 28 degrees, close to the most effective point. It is said to be an old age. Any planet that's more than 25 degrees, from 25 to 30, is said to be an old age, and any planet that's less than 5 degrees, and there are none except Rahu and Ketu, is said to be in infancy. And people who are infants or older age persons cannot promote or support their own significations. So it's a little weak, even though it is close to the most effective point. So Sun connects life purpose with the career, and it also indicates longevity that could be cut short. It gives him a very fulfilling career. Sun represents leadership and independence, so he was a leader in the musical or jazz fusion arena. Moon is at 10 degrees. It's again can be challenging. It's benign in the birth chart, but from time to time it's a very fast-moving planet, so it may cause Some harm through aspects or conjunctions in the transit chart, especially when it gets close to the rising sign degree. So, but in the birth chart, it indicates it's placed in the house of health and conflict, and it is ruling that house of spiritual growth. So it indicates that there is a possible conflict or divorce that can happen. It also indicates he chose a separate path from most of his traditional jazz musicians to embark on a separate the jazz fusion, which is wasn't accepted by everybody at the time. And also indicates that interest in Scientology, that spiritual growth. Then we have Mars at 25 degrees. It is again ruling this house of good fortune and indicates his interest in Scientology. And in fact, it is placed in the house of marriage. So he met his wife through Scientology. And it gives him a lot of courage to start and passion with his musical career. Mercury's at 20 degrees, and it is very strong, and it gives it rules the house of wealth and reputation, and is placed in the house of income and fulfillment of desires. So through his musical communication or expression, he gained his wealth and reputation. Jupiter is at 10 degrees, very strong, and it rules this house of creativity and entertainment, and so and also children. So he had a son that that also was involved as a musician, Thaddeus, and it gave a very creative musical entertainment, and also Jupiter represents teaching, so he taught a lot of musicians as well, very very influential to a lot of musicians. Venus is at 12 degrees, and it's strong, and it rules this house of success through performing arts, and gave good support. Venus also indicates wife, so gave good support through his wife, who was also in her own right a famous songwriter, vocalist for the Mahavishnu Orchestra. Saturn is at 29 degrees. Again, it's weak in old age, debilitated, and it is ruling this house of partnerships and marriage. And so he did have one divorce, and but he had a lot of strong partnerships with other musicians like Miles Davis and Sarah Vaughan. Rahu and Ketu, they're at 4 degrees, and they can cause some challenges in his life. Rahu indicates desire, and it's placed in this house of wealth and recognition and continuation of the family, desire for all those things. And Ketu indicates insights into different musical modalities. So this is the house of research and spiritual growth. So maybe exploring the Scientology. Now let's look at the timing of events. His first real gig was in 1966 during a Rahu-Mercury period, using his musical expression and a desire for a reputation. Then he started his Scientology during a Rahu Ketu period. Ketu, again, exploring spiritual disciplines through the Scientology. Then we have in 72, he got married for the second time during a Rahu Venus period. So Venus's wife. 76 to 81 was the peak of his career, and he got several Grammys during a very expansive Jupiter. Jupiter means growth, and it's in the career house. In 92, he started a recording company through different partnerships. Saturn period involving partnerships. And then in February 9th of 2021, he died of a rare cancer. And that was during a Mercury Rahu period. And Rahu can cause cancer, and it is afflicting Sun. Let's look at the transit chart. So Rahu is afflicting natal Sun and also transit Sun. Sun is an indicator of health and longevity. And then we have many planets, a stellium of planets in the sixth house of health. And so Moon there, which is a malefic, is afflicting Saturn, which is indicator for longevity. So those are the main points. So what could he have done to strengthen the chart if he had seen a Vedic astrologer? Well, he could have worn an emerald, a diamond, a sun, a ruby, a yellow sapphire for Jupiter, a blue sapphire for Saturn, and a red coral for Mars to strengthen those planets and give him better health, or worn a locket containing what's called a kavash, a protective pendant that contains the Devata yantras for all of those planets. And then you want to transform Rahu. You don't want to strengthen Rahu, Ketu, or Moon. You want to transform them through chants and charities. So Ganesh chants for Ketu and for Shiva, for Moon and Rahu, Shiva chants, and then helping people who cannot help themselves, and then helping spiritual organizations, which he did a lot of for Scientology. So he was already doing some of these remedies. So these are the main points. If you're interested in getting a Vedic astrology reading, you can go to www.vastucreations.com under products. If you're interested in learning about Vedic astrology, you can go to American Institute of Vastu.com. Or if you want to get certified, also there's a level 1 and a level 2 certification class. And thank you so much for listening.